channel. Today I'm going to be doing my workout routine. Finally, I know it's been a while. It's been a little bit of a delayed video because I've had some setbacks, but I'm here now ready to show you what I've been doing over the past few months and answering some of your questions and going through what a usual workout is for me to get these guns. Okay, I literally have no muscle in my upper body right now, and that's actually one of the reasons that this video has been set back, is because I hurt my back about 6 weeks ago. It's been an injury that has been reoccurring ever since my dancing days. So yes, I'm finally seeing a physio and we're working on it. I just need to build more strength in my back because it was all out of balance and causing some issues. So yes, I haven't been doing any upper body or really any ab work at all. So I really have only been doing my bottom half. It's pretty much like a butt leg workout, and it's probably what I'm going to be doing for the next, at least few weeks. So yeah, and everyone loves the booty workouts anyway. So yeah, so I'm gonna get into my full workout for you guys, but I also just have to let you know, you may or may not already know this, but from my dancing days, I have some injuries. I have torn cartilage in my hips, which prevents me from doing a lot of normal stuff that you might do at the gym or you might see at the gym, and it makes my workouts a lot more technical, if that makes sense. I have to really be focused when I'm doing it. Although I have made huge progress with changing my diet, reducing inflammation, and also just learning how and what exercises I need to be doing to help that area rather than hinder it, I still do have a lot of issues with it, and it still can hurt me on a day-to-day basis if I'm not looking after my hips. In saying that, building my butt is one of the key things to help my hips. I feel a lot stronger and more stable and a lot less pain when I have a strong glute. So that is why I predominantly am focusing on glute right now. So when I'm in the gym, I try as hard as possible to stay away from exercises that aggravate or overly activate my hip flexors and even my quads. So I very much so try and focus on hamstrings and glute. I obviously still work my quads as well, but anything that really activates this front section more than the back section is not a good exercise for me. Yeah, so I just thought you guys should know that. And I've also been getting heaps of questions about cycling, because you guys know I used to cycle a lot. I was really into it and I loved doing it. And it's not that I don't like doing it anymore. It's just that I'm a little bit over riding in Sydney. Yeah, this city is just not built for cyclists. I don't feel safe on the roads, and I'm kind of over just going round and round in circles at Centennial Park, which is like the only kind of safe place to ride in Sydney. I just stopped enjoying it. Like if I was somewhere where there's like a really nice hill for me to ride up with, some friends, then yes, I would. But riding around the streets in traffic, I'm not into it. I prefer to just go do a workout. And also, deep down, I do enjoy resistance training more so than like endurance cardio. I don't know, maybe from my dance background, I really enjoy resistance training. So that's why I've been loving going to the gym. So yeah, I used to be cycling probably every second day, but now I'm also going to the gym and also doing lots of walking. So that's pretty much the two things that I've been doing at the moment. I've been going to the gym 3 times a week. So I go on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I always go for a walk. And then Saturday, Sunday, I kind of just I don't do a lot, to be honest. Yeah, Saturday and Sunday is kind of like my rest day. I also do a lot of my physio stuff on Saturday and Sunday, and also Tuesday and Thursday when I'm not at the gym. Like the really light stuff to just build up my back. Once I can start doing my upper body again, I probably go to the gym 4 times a week and do some more arms and upper body. But because I can only do my legs right now, 3 days is plenty for me at the gym. Yeah, that's just where I'm at the moment. All right, so I'm gonna run you through an example of what a workout is for me at the gym at the moment. I usually do 4 to 5 supersets. So a superset is when you take 2 exercises and you do them back to back, if that makes sense. The first exercise in my first superset that I like to start with at the moment is jumping squats on a TRX machine. So holding the band thingies really allows me to sit back a bit more and not activate my hip flexor and my quads, but more so just my hamstrings and my glutes, and also using my arms at the same time. And I also jump on like a little board spring thing that takes the shock out of my knees. I usually do 20 jump squats with 20 pulses at the end. Whilst doing this exercise, I always try and focus on my knees, making sure that they're in line, making sure that my knees aren't going over my toes, making sure my knees aren't going out and in, using my core and my glute to kind of stabilize myself the whole time, and also being very light when I'm jumping. I superset that with Swiss ball curls. I love / hate this exercise. I really feel it in my hamstrings, my butt, and my calves. Oh my God, my calves burn at this exercise. Kind of like a hip thrust, but with the extension of the legs as well, and the, you know, the curling kind of movement. Obviously you have to stabilize yourself with this one, so I always put my hands by my side and, you know, activate my core. And also I try and keep my bum kind of tucked the entire time, even when you're coming down, and then really push it up at the top as you come up into that hip thrust. I hope this is making sense. And I do 20 reps of that in and out, and that's my first superset. So I do that superset 3 times. So jumping squats, Swiss ball, jumping squats, Swiss ball, jumping squats, Swiss ball. Yeah. Then I go into my second superset, which is probably the hardest one, to be honest. This one's really hard. The first exercise is weighted hip thrusts on a bench bar thing. So I put my hands up, and then I put a weighted bar like on my crutch area, and I always put like a padding thing on it so it doesn't kind of like bruise you. I also put a TheraBand around my knee. I'm gonna get my TheraBand because I need to show you guys. So this is the TheraBand that I use. I think it's the thickest one that I could find at Rebel Sports. Is 14.2 kilos. I worked my way up to this one, definitely. It really just makes every exercise that much harder. So I have the band and my weights, which at the moment I'm doing 25 kilos for 20 reps, hip thrusting up and down. I was doing 15 kilos and 30 reps up and down, but yeah, I decided to add the extra weight and take off 10 reps, and I'm really, really feeling it. So glad I did that. And I really try and focus on keeping my butt engaged the whole time. So like keeping it tucked, if that makes sense. So when I come down, I don't like release and kind of like let it relax. I just like keep it tucked under and keep it activated the whole time, going up and down, up and down, up and down. Really killer exercise, and it definitely builds the glutes. Like that is probably the best exercise you can do if you want to build your glutes. Never done it before, you might want to try it just with the band or with a really light weight, and yeah, work your way up. And then I superset that with Bulgarian split squats. However, I do it slightly different to most people because of my hip situation. So I use the bench that I was using for my hip thrust, and I put my knee and my heel so that my knee is pressing onto the bench, but my heel is directly below, so that I'm not going over my toe at all. And this kind of stabilizes my whole leg, which stabilizes my hip, and it kind of allows me to more isolate the glute and the hamstring rather than the hip flexor and the quad, if that makes sense. So, and then I have my back leg on a little step. So that's what the Bulgarian split squat is meant to be, where you put your leg up at the back. I try not to have it back too far, otherwise it would start to pull on that front, you know, hip flexor. This is my leg, apparently. I usually hold 5 or 6 kilos in each hand for that exercise, and then I do 10 reps up and down and 10 pulses like a little bit lower. I focus on kind of keeping my weight just down straight through the glute. It's a killer. I love it. Obviously on each leg, and then I repeat that superset 3 times. So the weighted hip thrust and the Bulgarian split squats 3 times each. Third superset lately has been single leg deadlifts. I really like these ones. Usually I would do these holding a 10 plate weight and go down and up about 10 to 15 reps of that on each leg. However, I have dropped the weight just in case it aggravates my back. So I've just been doing body weight ones actually, and I'm still really feeling it. So no weights at all, just either putting my hands here or holding something with the opposite hand, if that makes sense. I feel it the most when I have a slight bend in my supporting leg, and I'm really focusing on activating my glute and trying to keep my hips as square as possible. Sometimes it's not possible for me because it pulls on my hip flexor, but yeah, the squarer you kind of keep them, the more you'll feel it in your hamstring and your glute. And then I pair that with some donkey kicks. I love donkey kicks. They're a really, really great glute exercise. Sometimes I just do them on a mat with a weight in between my knees and go up and back down, up and down. You know how it is, keeping your hips square and just focusing on squeezing the glute. Always, no matter what glute exercise you're doing, you have to focus on squeezing the glute as hard as you can, really, because that's what is going to make the difference, whether or not you're going to feel like a burn or whether or not you're just going to feel it a little bit, you know what I mean? And then I also go out to the side. These are called fire hydrants, I think. So I usually do about 20 reps of each of those, and sometimes I'll also hold it out to the side for like 10 or 20 seconds at the end of that, and I do that on each leg. If I'm not doing it with the weights like that, I also sometimes use the cable to push upwards. I put like a strap around my foot and then put it on quite a low weight, like probably the lowest one, because it's really quite difficult, and then I just push up. That's definitely a lot harder when you do it with the cable. So that is my third superset, and of course I do that 3 times as well. For my fourth superset, I usually do a glute bridge with this bad boy around my knees, and I do 50 reps, so up and down. It's super important during this exercise to focus on not releasing your glute at all. Make sure it's tucked under like that the entire time, so going down and up and down and up. Don't release it when you go down. I don't come all the way down to the ground, just like that much off the ground, and that exercise is totally killer. As soon as I'm done with that, roll over onto my side and do little crab things, clamshells, I think these are called. I don't know. Try and keep it so that the band always has resistance, so that I'm doing little pulses like this rather than going like relaxing. You know what I mean? So there's always resistance. I find that lining your feet and heels up with your butt is a good position to really feel the burn. And I do 30 of those on each leg, and then I superset that with some Swiss ball crunches. And this is the only core exercise that I'm doing at the moment because of my back. Doing other core stuff does aggravate it. I keep my back very straight and my core very engaged, so I'm not doing any kind of crunching like this movement. It's all just like very straight, if that makes sense. Obviously this isn't a super intense one for the core. I'm just doing something to kind of keep, you know, a little bit of core there. Yes, that is my fourth superset, and I do that 3 times just like the other ones. And then I almost always finish off my workout with some crab walks. I do them on the treadmill with this band around my knees on an incline, a 15% incline, and then I put it on a slow speed of like 0.5, and I do 30 crab walks on each leg 5 times. So that's 150 crab walks on each leg. And yes, it is a bit of a killer, this one, especially on the incline. Whew. But I love it. I love finishing my workout with this. I know I'm just like, I directly feel it in my glutes and my legs, and love it. Love it. I think especially with butt kind of workouts, you really have to get comfortable with the burn. You know, it should burn. It should feel like your butt is about to fall off pretty much if you want to grow the glute, because it's a big muscle and it needs to be worked, you know what I mean? That's my workout completely done. After that, I always go and roll and stretch for probably about half an hour to 45 minutes. I know that seems like a really long time, but for someone with my injuries, I kind of have to do that to make sure that I get proper recovery. And if you've never rolled before, it will change your life after workouts. Like, rolling is so key. I always roll out my glute, my hamstring, up the side, up my quad, my hip flexor, my calf muscles, just everywhere, my inner thigh. And I also stretch, of course, and yeah, you just feel so good afterwards. Like, also remember that the reps and everything that I've shown you here are things that I built up to. So if you've never done these things, or if you're not being consistent at the gym, then always just remember to start off a little bit lighter and work your way towards it. Because people get so excited when they start working out and going to the gym, being healthy and fit. They just want to like do it all. Like, at 1 week they just go so hard, like every single day, and then they burn out and then they never go back to the gym. And yeah, it's just important to like build yourself up and be consistent and do something that's sustainable for you and something that you enjoy, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to kill yourself so much that you don't want to go back the next time. You want to enjoy the process, you want to enjoy getting stronger, you want to enjoy the progression, And also for me, like going to the gym, building my glute, building my muscles is so much about like strength and how you want your body to feel. I'm someone that has experienced a lot of injuries in the past. It's so important to look after your body, and it's so important to have good strength in your body, you know what I mean? Like these improvements are what we need to focus on rather than so much like aesthetic. Even though I have definitely seen a lot of growth, you know, in my legs and my butt, definitely getting some booty gains. Exercise is really so important in your overall mental and obviously physical health. We're not built to be sitting at a desk. We're not built to be sitting down all day. Like we are built to move. And even though it can be hard at first and, you know, getting into routine is difficult, it's such an important part of the human physiology. And when you realize that, when you're in routine of working out, you really feel a difference. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly throw that in there. So yeah, that is my entire workout routine at the moment. As I get my strength back in my back and I'm able to do upper body stuff, I will definitely film another video if you guys like. Let me know down below. You know, I'll update my workout routine as I go along with you guys, or I can even take you to the gym and do a workout with you, or do a home workout, or like what you guys would like to see. Please let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye.